Welcome everybody. Today we're going to see a demonstration of SafeBreach and Demisto integration. SafeBreach is an attack simulation platform which helps you simulate attacks across your organization and find any weak security policies, weak configuration, and helps you remediate. So here is a very simple way to set up the integration with SafeBreach. You provide the SafeBreach URL, which is the URL on how you reach SafeBreach within your organization, provided the account ID and an API key. And then from there on, Demisto and SafeBreach are connected. There is a sample playbook which we have implemented with SafeBreach. So let's go look at that. So here's the C2 investigation playbook that we have implemented. Let's go ahead and open it up and see all these steps in this particular playbook. So we start by actually going and fetching info from SafeBreach about the attack simulation with the simulation ID. So imagine the scenario is that you run an attack simulation which could be triggered from Demisto or it has been run before. We get the details from SafeBreach about that attack simulation. And once we get the successful attacks, we enrich indicators just like you would do in a real incident. Once we find out what type it is and what the indicator details are, if it is infiltration type, we figure out the first communication and then go get the indicator status from internal systems, what is the domain and other details. And then we actually go ahead and further enrich all the details about every indicator included in that simulation. Invite an analyst to come take a look at it by either assigning an analyst randomly or picking a certain analyst. Once that analyst reviews and adds indicators to the blacklist, they can go ahead and rerun the simulation. And then when you rerun the simulation in SafeBreach, then the result could be that the attack is blocked and the cycle is complete. So there is a full cycle where we start with getting information about a simulation that has succeeded to breach, get all the indicator details, analyst reviews those indicator details, we create a blacklist out of that, whether it's in your EDR solution or your network solution, and then we go ahead and rerun the simulation. So let's see this playbook in action. So here we actually have an incident which has already been triggered and started with a particular attack simulation. And the first thing here we see is enriching the information from SafeBreach. And here we find that we got the details about the simulation and other pieces. Then we go ahead and extract all the indicators from the simulation data. So here we go in and what we pass is the entire simulation data. Extract indicators, so we find MIC tray, we find this particular IP address, we find two different hashes. One of the hash is already being pointed as bad hash, and it's right here. A bunch of other information about the attack that has succeeded. We go ahead and get more details about the indicator, if it is found internally, any other data. Then we enrich all the indicators that we have found. So we have found some indicators, and then we go ahead and get detailed indicator score and find out what's going on. This is another hash which was found to be bad, and then all the details about each indicator. The obvious next step is for an analyst to come in. So here we see randomly, because we had the random form of assignment to an analyst, we have this task to be assigned to Nitzan. And Nitzan, let's say, reviews the entire playbook and the data here and says, reviewed the information, and I would like to blacklist the indicators. So he can go ahead and mark this as complete. And this task is now completed. The next step is to be able to go ahead and rerun the simulation. The other option Nitzan has is he can go ahead and block IP or block the indicators. So he can say block indicators and choose one of the automations. So let's say he wants to choose Panorama to block the IP. He can choose that. He can put in the indicator that has been found, set up a rule name and all the other options on demand right here. So for now, let's actually just go ahead and add this without all the details for the demo purposes. But just like that, the new indicators could be blocked and moved on. We will go ahead and mark this complete. We will go ahead and choose whether we want to rerun the simulation. We have an option to rerun the simulation, yes or no. Let's say we want to rerun the simulation. We mark this as complete. So manually, the analyst can interact with the entire playbook. We are now rerunning the simulation in SafeBreach, and once the simulation is rerun, all the results will be available in SafeBreach, or we can refetch it. And with that, we have shown a full life cycle of how we get the simulation results, find the indicators, extract the indicators, enrich them, then being able to review them, block them, and rerun the simulation. A complete life cycle that you should go through on a regular basis to be able to make sure that you do not have bad configuration, exposed security holes in your organization by combining SafeBreach and Demisto in an automatic manner. Thank you for listening.